Whilst I know, Patrick, that you're frustrated about this decision, I know you've also got access and you've been talking through a plan to open up with government. Have you been given any joy, any hope so far?
Look, we're very positive. We've put forward our plan through our industry associations yesterday afternoon, and people have worked through the evening and overnight to qualify those plans. So we're back in talks with the government again today. The plan's a strong plan, it's a proven plan, it's something that shadows a little of what happened to Victoria. That plan is still in place in Victoria and worked. I think Victoria classified themselves as 180 days under lockdown, so the building industry worked with a plan during that whole period. So we're of the same view. So the plan is structured to achieve two things. One is the Health Department's objective about reducing mobility, and we can certainly achieve a reduction of 50% mobility in the plan that we have. So as an industry, we're very, very positive about what we can do. I think the disappointing thing for us was that we've certainly got the capacity to be able to put a plan like that together quickly, and we weren't asked. Notwithstanding, within 48 hours, we'd already had the framework of that plan put together, and as recently as yesterday, had that plan presented. So, look, that's our objective. I think our outlook is really to see how fast we can get everybody back together again and working.
Well, Patrick, I mean, what are you hoping for? Are you hoping for a ban to be lifted this Friday, or is it realistic and you're just hoping that it does expire on the 30th of July as proposed by the Premier?
Look, we think that a modification of the change immediately can take place. I think we can demonstrate that the plan that we do have in the reduction of people on site and the amount of sites that we do have working full-time is reduced. That can be done immediately. The other side of the ledger is that we can't crank up the industry in 5 minutes. So there's a lot of planning that is done in terms of deliveries to site, preparation of site, ready to get going again. And that's part of the plan as well. So we're looking forward to, presenting that to make sure that when the restrictions are lifted, we're actually in a position to get going immediately. And that's the positive nature. So we're optimistic about looking at a twofold position as, the preparation to get started and be ready to get started after the 30th of July.
Okay, well, look, it's a stressful industry to be in anyway at the best of times. This is certainly adding to it. There is financial support on offer for businesses, but is the building industry, is the construction industry able to access that, and is it covering their costs?
Look, it's a very, very minimal contribution to their current earnings, and there's no doubt, whilst that offer is grateful, it's nowhere near what the earning capacity and the earning rates of tradespeople are. So it's a small drop in the ocean to what they're currently earning. So they will be impacted and they will be hurting.
What do you need? I mean, the construction industry gets back on its feet, but we could be looking at lockdowns in Sydney at least for maybe the next 2 months. It's indefinite at the moment. So what kind of support does your industry need?
Well, we simply need the government to recognise that we as an industry have, for the last 18 months, behaved very well in relation to COVID compliance. We've had no COVID infections or transmissions over that period. We have a great regime of safety controls. So we really want the government to support the strength of our industry and recognise that we're an industry that is responsible for what we do. And so we can live in harmony with the rules. I think that's the thing that we're reaching out for right now. The financial solution is to have us back to work. So our reach out is for government to recognise where we've been as an industry, how we've behaved as an industry, and how we work well. We've always had our industry associations collaborate with the government and reach really, really good outcomes as a result of that. So I think from our point of view, we're wanting the same thing.
Well, there's been no outbreaks on construction sites that I know of. Patrick, tell me about the site behind you. How hard was it to secure all your sites across the state within 2 days and over the weekend?
Well, that in itself is a task, fortunately we've got some clarification on the rules about how we can continue to secure and inspect our sites to ensure that they are secure and safe. This site, the disappointing part about the site behind us, it's close to handover to a customer, and they're only days away from moving in, and we've had to call the whole thing off. So here's people that have made plans to move out of their current accommodation ready to move in here, and it's at a standstill. So there would be minimum trades to accomplish that. So that's a very, very disappointing thing in relation to the site behind me. In terms of the role that we have to play as an industry to secure all of our sites, that's a difficult thing for us to do. It's not one size fits all. There is many things that we've got to take care of, everything from securing equipment and plant and things like footings, shoring up footings, swimming pool holes, scaffolding, frame structures, bracing frames. There's a multitude of things that we need to attend to that would have been a work in progress that has just stopped momentum midstream, and you can't really do that. So that work will continue, and under the clarification of the guidelines, we're happy that we've got the right to go to site and make sure that they're secure and safe.
Okay, finally, let me ask you, South Australia's just gone into a 7-day lockdown, stopping construction on 5 cases. What do you think about that?
Well, again, I can only say similar to what we've experienced here, that's an overreaction. I know that my colleagues in Metricon in South Australia work similarly to ourselves, that they're a safe, well-credentialed organisation in doing that, and that seems to be very much an overkill and a disappointing outcome for that industry over in South Australia. So I certainly feel for them. And again, we can only reiterate that we're an industry that have behaved well for a long period of time, and we certainly want the government to recognise that and feel confident that we can work with them in achieving their result. If they want mobility to be reduced, we can do that and still keep the industry open. So that's our objective. I'm really happy that we've actually do have an audience with the government with our plan, and I'm hopeful that they're seeing the integrity of that plan and make some changes accordingly.
Well, Patrick, you've got an audience with the government, which is really good. You've also got an audience here right on Sky News, so keep us posted.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.